Now we are live.
Good morning, everybody. Wanted to touch base with everybody. It is now July. Believe it or not, we have less than 100 days until we are actually selling 2025 plans. We have 84 days until we can actually talk about 2025 plans. So I love watching the fireworks and taking time off on the 4th of July, but when that grand finale of fireworks finishes, I consider that Happy New Year. It is now 2025. It's time to get busy. So I wanted to highlight the things that we need to accomplish in July so that we are successful in October. Because if we're not focused in doing the things we need to do now, we have such a small window of time that if we have the shopping season that I anticipate we will have, you probably don't have time to be having 2 and 3 appointments with folks. So you need to start that process early, and now's a great time to do it. So we're going to go through some of this. Everybody right now is kind of in certification phase. Whether you are now getting your AHIP done, some people take NABIP, but if you're getting your AHIP certifications done, things of that nature, if you have not contracted with carriers, you need to do that. Once you're contracted with carriers, you would need carrier certifications. So there's a lot of paperwork that needs to happen right now. And even with those of us that are Medicare contracted, we also need to consider contracting for those other ancillary products: dental, vision, hearing, hospital indemnity, short-term medical, things of that nature, because the market is changing. So while we're doing all of that paperwork, we need to analyze and prep our own book of business, our own strategies, our own, this is our goal for AEP. So we need to sit down and do all of that paperwork right now. Luckily for most of us, it's been over 100 degrees in the country, so we don't want to be outside anyway. So now's a great time to sit down and do some paperwork. But when we're talking about organizing and analyzing, you've got to understand your client's current policies, okay? Whether that be a Medicare policy, final expense, whatever those types of policies that you may have with them, you need to reach out to them and understand their potential needs for the upcoming enrollment period. So if you're already doing life insurance, you need to push to them, hey, I'm reaching out to let you know that I do this as well. If you have questions this upcoming enrollment period, please reach out to me, okay? If you've already got Medicare clients, then it's like me, I'm reaching out to say, hey, how do you like your plan? Are you utilizing these benefits? So on and so forth. I need to know what my clients are using and are not using. Then I need to identify changes. I need to anticipate changes that my clients may need in October. Ensure that I have all that information so that I can advise them appropriately, but I can't wait until October to get this information. Because over the next couple of months in August and September, I'm going to start learning about the new plans because they're going to have rollouts from the carriers and things of that nature. So they're going to start telling us what the new plans will look like. Well, if I've got a client that needs a lot of dental and I put him on a plan that had a lot of dental, one, I need to push that he utilizes it for the rest of this year, but then I need to turn around and also make sure that I'm prepared for him to understand there may be changes to his dental. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But proactively reach out to your clients. Schedule appointments now or for later. If somebody has an election period and I can move them now, move them now. Use those election periods. And AHIP is going to talk a lot about election periods. If you haven't taken AHIP already, you'll learn a lot about that as you go through that training. So to short term this and make it so it fits on a slide, we're calling it prepare the field, right? I want to make sure that all of my contact information is up to date for all of my clients. Because some of my clients want to be texted. Some of my clients want to be reached over the phone. Some of my clients like mail, right? Some folks have a big book of business and don't have time to actually call all of these people. So they need to make sure that they have all of this information lined up and appropriately placed so they can do robocalls or something along those lines. But we're always reaching out to find those AEP appointments, because after we've identified that this client may need to change plans, I have a client that has been put on a plan due to high usage of dental. That was the request. I know that already. I need to watch to make sure that this plan doesn't have a lot of dental reductions. If it does, I need to be prepared with a plan in my hand to fix that problem. So if I have the client on the phone and they've already expressed that, yes, I may need changes this fall, let me take care of another potential appointment and another drag on my time this fall and do a needs analysis. Are they eligible for a election period now? Do they enjoy what they have? Would they like to add or change anything? Who's the decision maker in the household? If that's the daughter that lives in Arizona and she only comes in at Thanksgiving, well, that's election period anyway. Let's go ahead and schedule our appointment for the week of Thanksgiving when your daughter's in town, because she's the decision maker. Let me take care of all of that chaos, grab control of it now in July. But I need to also educate my clients on the steps they need to take in the coming months. Based off of what I'm hearing from the carriers, from wherever, there may be reductions in benefits this year. So if you are using the dental, you still have 5 months to utilize all of that benefit. Please make sure you maximize that this year. I'm doing a client service at that point because I'm making sure that they are utilizing those benefits. But it also creates a little bit of a sense of urgency to get them to move and say, yes, I need an appointment with you. Because if it's somebody that's on a med sup and their premium's already gone up, and I call them and I say there may be a potential rises in premiums for PDPs based off of information that we're hearing, he or she may want to have a conversation this fall, and I may be able to get an appointment. I want to create the urgency. I want to motivate action so that I can fill up my pipeline this fall with lots of appointments. Now, knowing your book, that's data collection. What type of plan is this person on? That's names, phone numbers, addresses, all of that sort of stuff. But if you're going to do a direct mail campaign that you want to launch in, say, October, you typically need that by late July because it takes direct mail marketers 6 to 8 weeks to do a campaign. So you need all of that information compiled by late July. So I've got to verify that the information that I've got on my clients is correct. Now, if I'm a really, really, really good agent, I'm going to use all of that data. Direct mail drops, phone campaigns, online marketing, all of these different ways to market myself. And hey, I have 10% of my clients are coming out of this zip code. Therefore, I should do the majority of my marketing in that zip code. Use the information that you already have to your advantage. But now's the time to start gathering that information. You don't have time to gather it later. Material ordering. I always joke, if you own a 7-Eleven, they already know you're coming in for chips. They're very rarely out of chips because they've already prepared to order it. Same with a direct mail marketing campaign. Printing and procurement of marketing materials takes weeks. The reason I know that, I used to be the marketing guy for Humana. So order when Humana finishes your certification, if you're contracting with Humana, at the end of that certification, they're going to ask you, would you like to order materials? Yeah, I probably should. I don't know what the plans are. So don't necessarily have to buy or order a bunch of summary benefits because I don't know what I'm selling yet. But if you have flyers, information packets about dental and vision and different things of that nature that I can use to hand out to clients, and you all aren't going to charge me an arm and a leg for it, by golly, I'm going to order it. But I need to order it now so I already have it in hand by October. Now, talking about materials in general, keep an organized inventory of all materials. Me, I'm running a little bit behind myself this July. AHIP didn't launch for us. That's why we had trouble doing the training for AHIP, right? All of these other things pile up because life happens. So don't let July slip away. But even myself running behind, I have a stack here of birthday cards that I pull out of a little file. Oh, it's July. Pull those out on the 1st of July, put them in the mailbox. Running my own little inventory, I have August and September's. I do not have October, November, and December. So my own inventory management, I need to sit down and do my birthday cards for my clients by that day, sometime between now and October, preferably in July. Inventory management. Make sure I have all of my ducks in a row to be efficient. I'm a bullet train come October. Now, keep up to date with ANOC letters and other correspondence that come from the carriers and use that in conjunction with what you're sending out or the messages that you are sending. Okay. Great question, Dawn. I was just about to say an ANOC letter is an annual notification of change. Every person that has a PDP or an MAPD will get this letter in September. So if I call somebody today, hey, how are you feeling about your plan? Do you like it? What are you utilizing? Make sure you know how to get all of your benefits, so on and so forth. Do you feel like you need to make any changes? Have you had any drugs attached to you? Nope, everything's good. I love my plan. Perfect. Wonderful. This fall, there will be a lot of changes to these plans. You will get an ANOC letter, which is your annual notification of change. That comes out every September. Every member. That will outline, these are the changes to your plan. If you don't like those changes, please call me back. Here's my phone number. Do you have a pen handy? Use what the national carriers are going to do to your own advantage when you're talking to your clients. Understand how this process works. Understand you're going to be busy in August and September leading up to October. So if you want to be efficient in making sales, you need to hammer out as much of this conversation as you can prior to October. So let's go ahead and start that process. Finally, if you're relatively new to the game or if you've been in this game for quite some time, whoops, what happened to my screen? That was weird. We'll talk about community marketing while we have nothing on the screen. Community marketing is a multi-layered approach. Now, that could be, hey, I'm going into a pharmacist, I'm going into a doctor's office, it could be I'm going into a senior center, anything along those lines. Ramping up your visibility over these summer months, even having a booth at a farmer's market, a music festival, anything that's going on during these late summer months, getting you out in the field. See if I can get this thing open again. Get yourself out in the field. Get your word out to the public that, hey, this is what I do. Make noise, become the squeaky wheel. A lot of people say, oh, is it hard to market to seniors? Not particularly. Seniors pretty much are open books once you get them talking. The key is getting them talking about Medicare. Let's see here. Sorry, Canva crashed. But whether it's senior housing, ice cream social, educational events, even just you need to increase your branch, your with your develop something you snap your fingers. A lot of pharmacists and doctors' offices get tons of questions on a regular basis about Medicare, especially their insurance. There's opportunities there to develop folks talking about what they need. Oh, and this is the person you need to. Bowling events, you name it, you can come wherever seniors gather. There are field events to go to. Educational dinners, direct mail, social media, lead buys, all of these other things that you can add variety to grow your awareness of your brand, of your opportunities, whatever it takes. This is the time to start shopping for those and start engaging those so that you are successful this October. Now, make sure you are keeping yourself focused and busy right now. I know it's very easy to kind of go sit back and go, what is it I'm doing? It's supposed to be doing. So make sure you stay on tasks at hand for July. Get your certifications, any contracting done, getting your book of business done, getting that information. Because we don't run out of Funyuns come October and Doritos. So we have to have them ordered, whether that be the material, whether that be the information about our clients, whether that be the needs analysis or whatever. When it comes time to sell during the enrollment period, we need to be ready to sell. I do anticipate that this is going to be one of the busiest years. And there's going to be a lot of shopping. So having these items done ahead of time will, one, put you on track to be more efficient this fall in your sales, but it will also cut down on some of the shopping. Any questions?
Paul, that was good. You broke up a little bit there in some of your presentation, but that was really good. It's great to have these reminders to just keep focused on what you're doing, be prepared well in advance. That's the thing. The AEP is going to sneak up on us really quick. We think we have just a few months, or we have enough time, and we've got 3 months before AEP is actually here. Well, that's going to go by in a blink of an eye. And before you know it, if you don't start getting ready now, you're going to have a hard time getting ready a week before AEP hits. So yeah, we really appreciate all that from you.
And I mean, yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of these processes just take time. It's going to take time to get through AHIP. It's going to take time to do certifications. Oh, I've got to go get a contract. All of those things take time. And if you wait until, I'll do that in August or September, you will not be ready in October. I've seen it over and over and over again. And that's why I'm like, you have to do these things now to stay on track. Come over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was good. Are there any questions from the audience out there? This is the time. Okay. Well, I think we are good to go. Thank you again, Paul, for a nice training this week, and we'll see you same time next week.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too.
All right.